Hello, first graders. The first thing you do is always the same. Pick up your pencil and write your name. We'll be working on lessons 74 and 75. I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick review here. In lesson 74, we talked about the letter Y. And we know that when the letter Y is at the beginning of a word, it makes the y sound and it acts as a consonant, like in the word yes. We also know that when Y comes at the end of a one-syllable word, it usually spells the I sound, like in buy or my. This week, we learned that Y can also spell E. Y spells E at the end of long words with two or more syllables, like baby or puppy, baby or puppy, for examples. Okay, often big words that end in Y making the E sound will have that double consonant. Not all the time, but sometimes. Okay. When there is a Y or an E sound at the end of a two-syllable word, often with a double consonant, that E sound is actually the letter Y. We also learned this week on lesson 75 about longer words with the LE spelling. So if you remember, a syllable is a word or a part of a word with one vowel sound. We've been learning that about different types of syllables, which help us read bigger words. Closed syllables will end in a consonant, and that will make the vowel make the short sound. Open syllables will end with a vowel, and that will make the long vowel sound. Another type of syllable is called the final stable syllable. The name helps us remember what it is. Final means last. Okay, so it's the last syllable in the word. Okay, and that last syllable that we worked on this week was the LE ending, like at the end of words like apple and puzzles. To decode words with the LE wet ending, we can cover up the last three letters of a word and read the first part. Okay, so the first syllable is app, the second syllable is pull. Okay, and then we blend it together, app, pull. All right, so we've been talking about the LE ending and Y sounding like E at the end of two-syllable words. So let's go ahead and start our quiz. Our first word is going to be the word happy. Happy. So our first syllable, ready? Happy. So we have h, a, p. And then second syllable, p, e. And remember, it is not an E. We use a different letter at the end of a two-syllable word that sounds like the long E. So h, a, p, e, happy. Our second word is going to be the word funny. Funny. Let's spell fun. 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 And then let's spell the second syllable. Knee. N-E. But remember, it is not an E. Remember what we learned about this week. Funny. Our last word for lesson 74 is the word baby. Baby. Let's spell the first syllable. Oops, I made a mistake here. Give me 1 second. My bad. There we go. Let's spell the first syllable. Bay. B-A. Bay. B-A. Let's spell the second syllable. B. B-E. And remember, it is not an E. Okay. All right, just to review, first word is happy. Next word is funny. And the last word is baby. Moving on to what we learned in lesson 75 with that LE ending. I have a little leaf here, but I have 2 dots on it to remind you that it's LE. And here is our syllable break apart stick. So our first word is going to be the word able. Able. A-B-O. Able. But it's not just an L. We have to have that other letter ending sound with that, but there's no sound. It's silent. Able. A-ble. The next word we have is little. Lit-tole. Let's do the first syllable. Lit. L-it. Lit. Let's do the second syllable. T-o. T-o. Again, I have this leaf here with 2 dots, which means you need 2 letters at the end. Lit, tole. Our 6th word and our last word for lesson 75 is the word middle. Let's do the word middle. Mid, dull. Id. Mid, id. And then we have second syllable, dull. D-ol. D-ol. And remember, 2 letters with that ending there. Middle. All right. And the one on the end is silent. So we have able, little, and middle. Remember, the last letter in all of these words, 3 words, is silent. All right, first graders. So I noticed from the other week's quiz that some of you struggled with the word could. So your heart word that I'd like you to work on this week is the word could. So remember the k. Oh, you lucky duck. Could. Oh, you lucky duck. K. Oh, you lucky duck. Our second word that I noticed, first graders, that was tricky was the word there. So we have the diagram, and then we have air. Double the vowel. Where does the R go? Right there in the middle. Remember this clue I have up here for you. So we have could, and then we have there. Okay, there. Air. There's your clue up there. Now we have our new heart words this week. We have the word people. People. All right. So one of the tricks that we learned about was people. So we have p, and then we have e, and then to make that e say its name, it's going to have another vowel next to it. So p, e, and then a silent vowel because it gave its voice to the letter e. P, e, 2 vowels, p, ol, and then this ol sound is what we learned about this week. So you have a silent, you have the leaf, and then that silent letter. And if you're struggling with this, just remember, people eat omelets. People like eggs. All right, our other heart word for the week was, give me 1 second. Our other heart word for the week was the word, sorry about that, was the word 40. 40. Now this one's a little different because we know that to spell for and fourth, it's F-O-U-R. But now 40 is different. We got rid of one of those vowels. And so we have f, or, just or, f, or, f, or, t, e. You can see I have that eagle there. Look at 40, 2-syllable words. The last sound sounds like an E, but it's not an E. Remember what we learned up here, up at the top. So 40, f, or, t, E, 40. All right, so just to review, could, there, people, 40. All right, let's work on our first sentence. Our first sentence is, he likes to race his puppy. He likes to race his puppy. 6 words. Let's start with the first word, he. E. Remember to make that a capital letter. He. Then we have the word likes. All right, let's start with the base of it. Like. L-I-K. Got a star there to remind us. And then it means we're going to add a s to the end. So likes. L-I-K. magic E. And then he likes to. Two. He likes to race. S. And then we have that magic letter there. I'm going to tell you, this letter is not an S. It is not an S. So what other letter makes this sound? Okay, what other letter would make this sound? So not an S. It's not an S. So race. S. And that's not an S. Okay. He likes to race his is. And that is not a Z. It is not a Z. He likes to race his, and then we have puppy. It's not a Z. He likes to race his puppy. Let's do the first syllable, pup. Pup. And then we do the second syllable, P. P-E, but it's not an E. Puppy. He likes to race his puppy. Don't forget your punctuation. Make sure all your letters are facing the right way. Make sure your P's aren't facing like Q's. All right. So he likes to race his puppy. The second sentence has 7 words. Do you want to set the table? Do you want to set the table? So let's start off with our first word, do. Do you remember how to spell do? It's only 2 letters. Start with a capital letter D. And then what? How are we going to remember what makes that oo sound? Okay, only 2 letters. Do. You. 3 letters for you. The first one's we know, and then there's 2 letters here. Do you. Now we have the word want. Want. So the first and the last 2 sounds match. But right here we have to remember, and I put a line through an O. It is not an O. What other vowel would look right there? Do you want? Want. Not an O. Do you want to set? Set. The. Do you want to set the? And our last word is table. Table. Oops, sorry about that. I have to fix one thing here. Table. I have to add a dot. Do you want to set the table? So the first syllable is te. T-a. And then our last syllable is bull. B-ul. So I have that leaf there to remind you that there's, with the 2 dots on it, you have the ul and then that silent letter, table. Now listen to the end for the punctuation. Do you want to set the table? Do you want to set the table? Think about your punctuation at the end. Do you have capital letters, spaces between your words? Are your B's, D's, and P's all facing the right direction? Go over your work. If you have any questions, raise your hand. Otherwise, put it in the I'm done pile and go ahead and play roll and read if there is enough time on the timer. Great work, first graders. All right. Make sure you're doing some math, buddy. Do your work. Everybody does their work.